I feel so violated. I came home and I just didn't know how to function. What do I do first?
Now at 6 o'clock, we're going to hear more from that Hillsboro woman who says her car was stolen while she was helping to serve Thanksgiving meals at a local homeless shelter.
And some TriMet riders are unhappy as the agency starts its first round of major service cuts. We'll tell you which lines are being impacted and when more cuts will happen ahead.
Winter weather in the Midwest made traveling home from Thanksgiving difficult for a lot of people. So we're going to have more on this for you, including a live look at Portland's airport, all coming up as we kick off the 6 o'clock hour of sunrise right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Monday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. What do you think, Chris, Rod, China? Does anyone need to know this morning that Christmas is now 24 days away?
Oh, yeah.
Should we mention that?
I hadn't thought about that, but yes. I'm glad you mentioned it.
It's a fact.
Okay.
It is December 1, also known as the first day of meteorological winter, which runs the months of December, January, February. This is also the day that the climate high for Portland is no longer at 50 or better. Now the climate high is the 30-year average, if you will, has slipped down to 49 degrees. We do have increasing low clouds hovering over the city, kind of wannabe fog here, looking down from the Wells Fargo building. 36 degrees is the number out of PDX. But overnight, there was no fog along the Columbia River. Now we have it. And before the fog, we had a temperature of 30 degrees. Temperatures have actually come up in some areas as low clouds and fog have started to pop. But still Sandy, Oregon City, Battleground, Scappoose, Hillsboro, some of the spots getting down to freezing. Salem is now down to 32. Dallas is the same. So watch out for slick, frosty spots. The cold this morning is the number one weather story of the day. Burns, I think on the shifts that I've been working, that's the coldest you've been so far this fall. 12 degrees is your current temperature. It's a frosty start for many, not all, but for many at the bus stop. We'll be dry today. Big coat weather, only 42 at noon, about 46 when the kids get out of school. Here's Chris.
Rod, we can see some of that fog settling in on our ODOT and WashDOT cameras. We'll take you to North Portland here up near the Expo Center. You'll see this as you cross the Columbia, either direction here, obviously. It doesn't discriminate which way you're headed. But in any event, you can see we still have pretty light volume on that side of town. I-5 seems to be zipping along just fine. Over to the Sylvan Hill, Highway 26, again, getting a little bit busier from our last check. Certainly more cars there than when we checked 10 or 15 minutes ago. I-5 through Tualatin, that too zipping right along. Despite the chilly start, that's probably your biggest delay, defrosting your car. So far, so good, guys. No major freeway troubles just yet.
Thank you, Chris. All right, we start with flight delays and cancellations across the country as people try to make it home after the Thanksgiving holiday.
Winter weather alerts have made things difficult for anyone trying to get to or from places in the Midwest, including Wisconsin, Illinois, and Iowa. And then check this out. This also happened over the weekend. A Delta plane skidding off the runway in Des Moines. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Now, we're not seeing that kind of weather here, but those conditions in the Midwest did cause some delays and cancellations at PDX over the weekend.
Libby Dowsett is live at the airport with how it's going this morning. Good morning, Libby.
Hi guys, good morning. Now the airport expected nearly 370,000 people to travel through here over the weekend and today, and there have been some frustrated travelers with all that weather in other parts of the country. But we have some good news. The board shows only one cancellation out of Chicago this morning. According to AAA, about 120,000 Oregonians chose to fly instead of driving this year. The crowds at PDX were predicted to be higher this year over last, and with today and yesterday being the busiest days of the year right here, the airport predicted about 60,000 people to come through PDX today alone.
Very calm here. Very easy day so far. We were expecting, a little bit more panicky, and we haven't seen that.
And we just talked to a lot of people right here at the board checking arrivals and departures, and they were all very happy, saying it's not that bad. Airport staff says even with flights back on track, check your flight time, arrive 2 hours early. Remember how long it takes to park, check in, and head through security. You can also check TSA waiting times at flypdx.com. Right now they are about 35 minutes. They've been ticking up as we watch the board. And you can also remember to bring your real ID, because if you don't have the proper documentation, you may be staying here a little longer than you expect. Back to you guys.
All right, Libby Dowsett live for us this morning there at the airport. Meanwhile, the Washington County Sheriff's Office is investigating a deadly hit and run that happened in Hillsborough. Investigators say a person was hit early Saturday night on Southwest Minter Bridge Road, north of the Tualatin River. There's still no description of the suspect or their car. Investigators have also not yet identified the victim. We also saw a pair of crashes over the weekend in Kelso that involved a train colliding with a car. The first one happened around 9 o'clock Saturday morning along Pleasant Hill Road. The person driving that car had to be airlifted to the hospital with serious injuries. The second crash happened about 12 hours later near Flat Road and Sakari Lane, but everyone in that car was able to get out before the train hit.
Meantime, Amtrak police are investigating after a woman in Salem was hit by an Amtrak train. It happened near MLK Junior Parkway. The woman is still in the hospital. We don't know her condition this morning.
A Hillsborough woman says someone stole her car while she was volunteering at a homeless shelter on Thanksgiving morning. Now, the woman's name is Cheryl. She told us that she parked her car at a lot in Northwest Portland at First and Davis, and she says she was shocked to find it stolen after she had just finished up serving meals at the Union Gospel Mission. She says the 1999 beige Honda Accord with wine country license plates is her only way of getting around. She filed a police report and has actively been searching for the car with her son, driving around the city and visiting stores that her cars were used at. She says more than $600 has been spent on her cars before she was able to cancel them. And on top of that, she says she's living on a fixed income.
I'm more interested now, not in them, so just finding my car as I need it. And I can't really afford to get another one. I couldn't even before this happened.
Police say this is a reminder to never leave anything of value in your car and activate your security alarm system or install anti-theft plate fasteners before you leave your car.
TriMet has begun its first round of large-scale service cuts. So for lines 35, 52, 77, and 81, buses will now arrive once every hour after 9 p.m. After 7 p.m., the FX2 line will run every 24 to 35 minutes. This comes as TriMet faces a $30 million budget gap with expenses outpacing revenue. And we heard from one TriMet rider who's disappointed with the changes.
The less public transportation that there'll be after 9 will just continue to make it more and more difficult for people who want to spend their time out, who want to, businesses who want to stay open later. And with the increased rent, it's just going to make it even more difficult for small businesses and people to thrive.
Last month, TriMet got rid of 68 positions. Next round of service cuts is scheduled for March.
All right, before we get back to Rod Hill, check this out. Winter Wonderland is back at Portland's International Raceway. It's up and running now for a 33rd year. This is where the racetrack is transformed into what people call the largest drive-through holiday light show in the Pacific Northwest. The track features a variety of new light displays and a new tunnel this year.
It's super unique the way we have 3 miles of course. It takes almost 35 minutes to get through the entire thing, and you don't even have to get out of your car. Everyone's in the Christmas spirit. They all want to get down here on Black Friday, kick off the Christmas season with us.
The festivities run through New Year's Eve. All proceeds, by the way, benefit the Portland Sunshine Division, which has been providing food assistance and clothing assistance to local people in need for 100 years. I think there are 1 or 2 nights. I know there's at least 2 nights each year where they don't allow cars, where you can only go to either walk your dog or ride your bike. And I think tonight is the dog walking night. I have to check that to be sure, but I think tonight is the dog walking night, and maybe tomorrow is the bike riding night.
Yeah.
No cars allowed on those nights.
I love that.
As you can imagine, that would be
It'd be my luck, I would show up on one of those nights, and they're like, no, you got to walk, sir. I'd be like, what?
That would be funny.
Hey, you touched on national weather, so here's an update. You know, the big story nationally is the cold weather. And with the cold weather, this area of Kansas, Missouri, up into Iowa, over to Illinois, under winter weather advisories for 1 to 4 inches of snow. If you look carefully, you see radar showing some snow in Kansas and Missouri right now. And then this batch of moisture will migrate tonight into Tuesday up toward Pennsylvania and New York State, where there are winter storm watches up for as much as 7 inches of snow. And I mentioned the big story overall is simply the cold. These are current temperatures. 7 in Fargo and Minneapolis, 16 in Des Moines, 20 in Chicago, 31 down in Little Rock. It's 13 in Denver. And as a forecaster that watches outlook patterns, the big question mark December for us, are we going to continue to see multiple cold shots come down near the Rockies but hold off to the east and we miss out? Are we actually going to get 1 or 2 decent cold snaps spilling into the Northwest this winter? Models have been back and forth, and quite frankly now, most models keep us fairly quiet with the cold air east of the Rockies. If that's the case, then it's going to take some doing to get our snowpack going. There is the threat of 3,500-foot snow levels and decent mountain snow this upcoming weekend, fingers crossed, for the Cascades. Okay, here's what's going on. We're all dry out there this morning. The big stories, it's cold. PDX has been down to 30. First freeze of the season out at the airport. 32 at 8 o'clock, low 40s at 11 o'clock. We'll be up into the mid 40s later today. The mixed bag of kind of passing clouds and partly sunny skies. The bricks are chilly, our beautiful Christmas tree. I want to show you the current temperatures, and then we'll get you to your 7-day. 32 in Hillsboro right now. So again, you see we're pretty much, everybody's in the 30s, and some of us are freezing. So watch out for frosty spots. It can be surprisingly slick, especially when we aren't used to it this time of the year. 46 today's high. A dab of light rain is possible tomorrow. Otherwise, we're all dry through Thursday. There's the rain and hopefully mountain snow setting up for this upcoming weekend, and that is your update.